Hello and welcome to another episode of our Creative Sligo series, where we get out and about and meet lots of creative people around Sligo town and county. This has been brought to you in association with the Creative Ireland Sligo Fund, and we'd like to thank them for their support. Today we're here in the Canopy in the lovely store of Wild Essence and the Little Fox, and we're joined by the two owners here, Rachel Adams of the Little Fox and Carla Flannery of Wild Essence. You're very welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so
Get them
much.
all bubbly and happy. They love being on the camera.
So excited. Thank you so much, Brendan.
Okay, so to get back to the story, this is all about creative people in Sligo, and I can see by your amazing store here, you are creative people. So going back to when you were young, Carla first, what was your creative side when you were young? Were you out and about, arty, music-y, theatre? Was that anything like that when you were young?
Yeah, I definitely would have been an arty child for sure. Wasn't too fond of maths homework and all the other kind of things.
Yeah.
It was always art and music was my thing. Drawing, painting, following my granddad around the garden when I was younger. He was a big gardener and into his flowers. So it all just, stemmed from there, I think.
And Rachel, were you in a creative household, or was the school more creative space for you?
I would have been, yeah. I think it just took me a little while, I suppose, as I got older to bring back my creative side. My sister actually recently reminded me of the art contests that I won and stuff that I completely had forgotten about. Because I went down a different, I suppose in terms of career, went into the insurance industry and was doing something completely different, non-creative. So it's lovely to be back and creating products for customers here. It's surreal, yeah.
Nearly every person we've interviewed on this series, you see the joy in them because they're working in something they love. And of course, I'm sure there's times it's not easy and it's difficult and there's a lot of mix mash, but to be able to go, I'm actually living in a creative space. So do you feel like you go to work when you go to work?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No.
Wow, okay, because usually there's a few stresses, but no, you just love in that space. It doesn't feel like work, which is amazing.
Like I find it can be difficult being in the shop, I suppose. I got so used to working in the studio and being in the garden, which is my zen space, and working from home, just crafting, but being in the shop, just having conversations with people all day, you know, that can get, when you're not used to being out and about and chatting with people all day long. So that's probably the only most difficult part, really, but actually creating and being in your creative flow,
and seeing the joy when people get your gifts or whatever you want to call your art pieces. And Rachel, I know you, as you said, you were in insurance.
Yeah.
So this is quite a different world.
Yeah, my CV is a little bit all over the place, but I did have a lot of retail experience.
Okay.
So I suppose I love being back in the shop. I love interacting with customers and talking to them. So I'm still trying to find my balance of being at home crafting, whereas I love being in the shop as well. So yeah, I try and craft a little bit. We have a tight space here, but we try and use the space as efficiently as we can.
Okay, so as you said, you're like, well, we have to produce and we have to sell, and do all the
there's
admin,
a
and do
long
the social
to-do
media,
list.
and the photography. But again, it's nice. I mean, even if you're doing that, and you're doing that in a lot of industries where you're like, oh, it's a pain. Whereas you're going, well, look, we're creating things. You must get a lot of joy when someone gets one of your gifts and they're delighted. It must be like, we're going to have a look at them in a few moments, but it must really give you a buzz to see I've created this and that person's got such joy.
For sure, because I think as a creative, as an artist, crafter, you're never fully satisfied with the work you've created. Like we often have this conversation, and you nearly have to cut it off. You could keep adding, taking away. You're never fully happy, but then when you do finish, and you're like, right, okay, I've spent hours on this now, and then you give it to the person, and you see the happiness on their face, and you know that they're really, really impressed with your work. It's such a feeling. It really is. Yeah.
And I mean, there's an array of gifts, and I know Rachel, because I bought some of your products before, where it's a real personalised piece. So you must see people tearing up, maybe.
Oh my God, I've cried with customers. I've hugged people I don't know. Like it's actually lovely, and it's just, I think with gifting, it's about getting the messaging right. So it's lovely to be able to offer the personalisation, or even if it's a bouquet, the colours, or like really tailor the gift to the person. So that's so nice, and to have the space here that people can come in and have a conversation with us is really, really nice.
And it's not a gift shop; it's a creative space. I imagine it's like, this isn't just.
There's a lot of brbrainstorming going on here, and the ideas are flowing constantly. Especially when we work together, the ideas are they're never ending. It's a really nice. We have a nice buzz. We've good vibes together. Really
well,
good.
again, it seems you working the two of you together then so much that it kind of crosses over. So, Carla, Wild Essence, for anyone that hasn't a clue what it is or what you do, can you kind of give us a bit of an info about it?
Well, it started, I suppose, around first lockdown. I was hairdressing on and off for about 10 years. So that was my form of creativity then. But I suppose after 10 years, sometimes you look for change. I think change is good. I feel like I've changed a lot as a person throughout my life, and you can only give so much graw and passion to something. So I just kind of pull it back in, and I've always been a lover of scents and candles, and during COVID I realised how much chemicals and toxins that there can be in regular candles. So my mission was just to try and produce a really natural scented candle that lasts, and that's how it began. I wanted to infuse my own lavender and eucalyptus in it, so I started growing them on my granddad's land back home.
There's a lovely tie with your granddad. He taught you a lot of this, so you learned a lot about all the different plants, I presume. So from him. Okay.
Yeah.
And now you've brought that on and kept on what he used to teach you. So okay, so it's lovely too.
Yeah, we do. We get on great. We work well as a team.
Do you work him now as well? You keep him going as well, do you?
Of course.
Oh, that's the stuff. Okay.
We get on well. We have our days, but
Not sure who doesn't.
Who doesn't? It started with the candles, started with growing little bits of flowers to infuse into the candles, and then I just had such a love for flowers anyway, and that was my kind of delve into the floristry side of being able to preserve flowers naturally without the use of dyes, chemicals, sprays, anything. It's all completely natural. So we grow everything from seed and do the whole process, grow, harvest, dry, to produce an everlasting bouquet for events, weddings, gifts.
As you said, you can customize it. Maybe they have a favorite flower or color.
Yeah.
Do they leave you to do what you want, or they give you hints sometimes?
Sometimes it's nice to have a
Let's
little bit
pick one up there and let's kind of get it. Let's get a look. Okay, so this is one of the end products.
These are a recent bouquet, recently dried, harvested and dried from this year. Some autumnal colours. If somebody comes in and everyone has a particular colour or a theme for a wedding, if they give you a little bit of information, it is a little bit easier to run with that then. But when somebody comes in and they're like, do whatever you think, get creative, then it's like, sometimes it can be hard to be, where do you start?
Might overthink it maybe.
Yeah. But I think it's important like that to really chat with the customer, get to know them a little bit, find out what their likes are, and just have a little bit of a base to go off. But
so you at home then you pluck these, and there's a special way of preserving them.
Yes, so you just bunch them into small bunches, hang them upside down in a dry, dark room, and leave them for about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the flower. And that's it. They hold their colour and can last anything from 2 to 3 years. And so.
Wow, okay, beautiful. I wasn't even fully aware of this side of your business. And just on the candles, you can actually, we'll take up on the candles and just let people see what it is. And you did mention, and I did read this somewhere about the toxins of, I don't want to name brands, but famous candles that are lit by loads of people. And maybe they're actually maybe not that good for your home at all.
For sure, especially the wax. The wax is the biggest thing. Paraffin wax holds a massive amount of chemical.
Makes sense. Like you wouldn't light a tire in the middle of the kitchen, so there's bound to be something coming out of it. Okay, so that's good.
And I think people are starting to realise that now as well. Everyone's becoming a bit more eco-conscious, health-conscious, and as simple as flipping a candle and reading the safety label at the base of every candle will give you a list of what exactly is in it.
Oh, so they have to put it on.
Yes, but we never usually do that. We just
see
them and light it and hope for the best.
Yeah. Wow.
But a lot of them can cause a lot of black soot that will gather on your wall if you're lighting it in the same place. Yeah. But I use a soy-based wax, a wooden wick. The wooden wick just slows down the burn time. It doesn't produce any soot or any chemical. It's sustainable, and I use just 100% pure essential oils, so no fragrance oils. Anything with a fragrance oil is made in a lab. It's full of chemicals.
I love the names. Just Breathe, Grow, and the one in your hand, Awakening. Beautiful. It's nice to not just go, there's a candle. It's like, what is it made of? Like you go, oh my God, this is actually much more than just a candle. It's a lovely piece. And as you said, it's much more natural than most of the candles that can be bought out there. And Rachel, as I said, I got a lovely custom piece made as yourself before, and it made the person cry that I gave it to. It was beautiful. I mean, not that you're bad. Oh, it's so bad. It was just a lovely sentimental piece.
Yeah.
So if we can, for people that don't know about the Little Fox, can you kind of tell us a little bit about it? And
absolutely. So I suppose the Little Fox it's coming up on 2 years now. So we're 2 years in business. I started crafting again. I made a couple of bits and bobs for my sister's wedding. Really loved getting into the upcycling and gave them a beautiful gift. Again, they were crying, so all good.
Tears are good.
Tears are good. Yeah. We ended up upcycling a bike that was over 100 years old as well for the wedding day, just to get that real kind of vintage look. And just loved it. It was kind of during lockdown as well. It was like looking at what's going in the bin and how can we repurpose stuff. So with the Little Fox, we love to upcycle as much as we can in the frames. So we upcycle anything from books to buttons, beads, old corks, like from the wine bottles. Like if you actually have a look at the products, there's an element of upcycling in everything we make, which is really cool.
Oh, I didn't even realise that every
See,
piece.
I don't think a lot of people do, and I'm trying to tell them in the store. I probably need to advertise that a little bit more. But I'll just show you an example here. Yeah, so this one, this is one I actually made for myself because I left my insurance job.
Yes,
full time to go into business, and it says I trust the next chapter because I know the author. So basically these books had no covers, so I knew I couldn't give them to charity shops or do anything really with them, so I just recreated my own little 3D book and incorporated a nice quote. And the amount of people that have bought this and told me like that real sentimental stories of what's this going to mean to somebody when they gift it. It's so lovely, whether it be a whole other chapter in their life. There's loads. I won't go into details.
But I love when you give a creative person just come like you can go, oh, that's kind of easy enough to make, but like, no, it's not easy to think up though.
Exactly.
So more than these pieces, like it's just natural creativity. And again, this series is the more and more creative people you meet to go, oh, let me add it and come up with something amazing. I love just someone, you just do it. And go, wow, amazing. So
no, it's brilliant.
There's
I'll
loads
just show
more here.
another one as well. So this, I actually used to run a cafe and a catering business. So I had loads of old pudding or cupcake holders. And I love the colour. I didn't want to show them out. So they've been kept for, I'd say about 5-6 years. I'm killed for the stuff that I keep, but repurpose that into little button cupcake for a birthday frame. Wow, so simple, beautiful. And nice and colourful and bright. And I love the way that doesn't have a year or a age, so it can be used as a birthday decoration.
So you buy 20 of them and just keep them in the press for any to someone's birthday.
Any birthday, you can take it out for birthday decoration. So I think it's really cute.
Cool.
So
it's just a much nicer, memorable gift.
And
obviously you can customise it for the certain birthday if they want.
Yes, absolutely. We do custom pieces.
So it's a perfect present to keep giving back to someone every year. So you save a fortune.
Absolutely.
And I know you use like a little stone and pebble in some of your pieces as well. I see one or two there.
Last one.
That's okay.
Showing, I don't want to take up all the time. Just love little messages about being yourself, or I don't know, little inspirational pieces. Again, when people come up to the counter with this and they're telling me a story of who it's for and why they need to see it. It's really, really nice. So it's just so simple. Upside down bird, be yourself, do your own thing. So I'm all for that. Like that's kind of where I'm going nowadays. By leaving the full-time job and going into a creative space and working full time in a creative sector. Like it was a big risk, so I'm all for doing your own thing.
keep taking the chance and keep going. Like,
exactly.
And I mean, like if you could put a message out to the public, going, when you're going for your presents or your gifts, obviously it's like you want to go us, but like there's loads of creative people, and I know in your shop here you support other businesses as well, which is really nice. Like because you're already what you might class, I'm sure, as small business owners. Well, let's help others, which is lovely ethos. But like people mightn't always first off think of this gift shop necessarily. So like what would you say to people like is like, look, think about a bit more maybe in depth before you pick your gift, and we've got something really special here with a bit of real heart and creativity in it. Is that kind of
absolutely?
Because maybe they just don't think and might go, oh, I go to X shop and buy that or a voucher. This will have much more long-term meaning, I imagine.
Definitely so.
Connectivity.
I think again, as I said just before, it's about getting the messaging right. So even if you have something like in terms of personalization, you can put your like a lyric or a song that you have in common with somebody, you can put that in and only that person might know what it means. Like we do that kind of stuff, so that's what makes the gift really special. So
and you can probably create anything to someone's idea. Whether it's floral, whether it's a special piece in a frame.
Exactly.
You go, look, I just want to get this for someone, and off you go. And I remember when I got that piece, you were so, I'm going to try this, and you were too kind. I was like, it's okay, don't worry, just go what you think, like, you know. So it's really nice. The attention
it's like
to
that
detail.
when someone says do what you want, it's kind of like, oh God. So it's good to get a little bit of an indication of
Just a little bit.
Yeah,
because,
okay. So give a bit of guidance on what, and then let you do your magic. Like.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, let us try.
So you're here in the Canopy, okay, for anyone that's formerly Johnston Court, just in case some people, you know, get used to it, or any people that may have been here before and haven't been here since
People thought we were running the Canopy from our social media, so it was a bit confusing, all right.
There was a lot of confusion.
We weren't sure whether to name the shop then or to set up a whole new page, you know, so we kind of just kept the two business names on it and try and...
I love the space because, you know, I know you said it's not huge, but it shows everything that you do, all in one space.
Lovely.
And you could, you know, you can order more or make more or whatever do you want.
Yeah.
It's lovely lit, it's lovely space. I mean, in fairness, they've really done a lot of great work here in the Canopy recently as well. So
absolutely.
it's a nice space to come and visit now.
Yeah,
For sure, absolutely. Yeah, they've really
If anyone's
transformed
passing,
it.
come in here and smell.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I could stay here all evening smelling. So it's lovely to come in and chat to you. I'm still, you know, looking. I have to stop looking around because to talk to you. So before we go, make sure people obviously they know where to find you. But for social media, what is it with yourself, Carla?
Wild Essence IRE on Instagram and wildessenceireland.com is the website.
No?
Yeah, and I am at the Little Fox Sligo on Instagram, and the littlefox.ie is the website. So
And you can make orders and post them out as well, I presume. Do that kind of business as well.
Absolutely.
So this is just like a physical shop, but you can do that for anywhere in the world.
You can order online, and there's a collection point as well, so you can do that too. So
You've covered it all.
I think we have covered.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to chat to us.
Thank you.
I now, that's what I love about doing these interviews. I learn more about everyone and what they're doing. Like, so I didn't even know some of the stuff that you were doing. Like, so it's amazing. They're really, really lovely gifts. Like, I love the candle, natural, proper candle idea.
Yeah.
And the story behind it, you know, with your granddad out in the fields and that, like, and then your journey from insurance to your own restaurant, cafe, kind of to now. So fair play. I love to hear creative people taking a chance and it working out. So
thank you.
The very best to look in the future.
Cheers.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a million.
Lovely.
Cheers.
So that was Carla from Wild Essence and Rachel from the Little Fox, and they're here in the Canopy, Sligo. Thanks again to Brian behind the scenes on the cameras doing all the hard work. And we will see you all again next time. And thanks again to the Creative Ireland Sligo Fund for helping us put this series together. We'll see you all again next time.
The Sligo Show is produced by Pixel Productions and hosted by Brendan Tierney. If you need video for your business or live event or would like to appear on the show, send us a message today.
So if you liked what you just seen, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel here. We've loads of great interviews from a load of really interesting people over the series. And if you're on social media, which I'm sure loads of you are, we are on Instagram and Facebook, so give us a follow there.